Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kevin Christian and I've been doing YouTube videos for about 5 years, and I want to talk a little bit about Havana syndrome. So a lot of people on their channels have been coming out with videos to explain Havana syndrome, and I've looked at a lot of reports and listened to a lot of news about Havana syndrome. So from what I've gathered, it appears to be exactly what everyone else has been describing to me for many years and what I've been experiencing for many years as EMF broadcast, remote neural monitoring, artificial telepathy. So let me just talk a little bit about EMF broadcast. The electromagnetic field of Earth, that is EMF. The broadcast is a satellite broadcast system. So if you were to access this mind control broadcast system, then you would be able to configure certain settings on the online interface to make connections with people, with other people, or um, I can't say this for absolute certainty, but I would speculate any being, including many animals, that give off an EMF signature. If you have an EMF signature frequency, then this satellite system can pick you up. So all humans and probably many mammals are in this system with their unique EMF signature frequency. So if you were to have access to that, to the online interface that is linked to and controls the system, then you would be able to make settings and connections. So, um, EMF broadcast, the broadcast, okay. Someone who has access to these settings on this system, they can wear a particular device, um, almost like an EEG, but kind of in reverse, to receive. And then however they would set it up on the interface would choose who to receive, and then they would be able to receive that person's thoughts within their own mind as if they thought it themselves. This is something that I've been experiencing knowingly for 7 years, when people began to talk with artificial telepathy to me on my particular frequency. That's when I noticed that obviously something's going on. And I began to see certain broadcasts, strange things. And when I listen to the reports about Havana syndrome and they hear sounds, strange sounds and voices coming from seemingly some direction, and that's exactly how artificial telepathy is. It's not something that's in your head, it's something that's coming from somewhere. It's a broadcast. And you may hear it, but someone else may not hear it that's not on your frequency. Just as if my cell phone wouldn't hear your cell phone call. You wouldn't hear 99X FM on Hot 107 FM. They're on a different wavelength. They're on different frequencies. It's an embedded signal. It's a signal. So you're not talking about an actual sound wave. You're talking about signals. And so the reason that some people can hear a signal is because it's on their frequency. So it's often referred to as V2K, voice to skull. I believe that's actually a different technology that would be deprecated. Artificial telepathy is what it is. It's all part of EMF broadcast, remote neural monitoring. And it's a matter of possession. You have access or you don't. And those people working at that embassy, those people were not having access to their neuromonitoring. So some of the diplomats who were not present at the time, they probably do have access to their neuromonitoring. And I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of people that have access to this, because this is a hacker attack, basically. A lot of people that have access to this are hackers, and then people that know hackers that were given access and shown how to use this technology in this system. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people got together and said, hey, let's do something that they can't ignore. And so they did something that would make the news. They did something to a mass amount of people at one time. And my speculation is that they did that to spread awareness, to try to expose this technology. Because many people, what you might hear referred to as gang stalkers, those people are using this technology in malicious ways to hurt people and to destroy people's lives intentionally for their own personal reasons. So it's all about possession. If you have possession, and if you don't have possession of your neuromonitoring, that is your signature frequency, broadcast frequency, on this online interface that connects with this satellite broadcast system, if you don't have that, then somebody does, because it exists. Every human has a frequency. And every human, and probably many animals, are on this neural monitoring system. You might think to compare it to human trafficking, because it is like human trafficking. They're buying, selling, trading, neural monitoring frequencies, just like human trafficking. And it has a lot of control, and it can affect your life greatly. So you definitely want to look into how to gain access to your neural monitoring. You're probably going to have to learn some, at least basic coding, and get some knowledge about how computer stuff works with virtual machines and DNS and some of the languages and all of these different things. Really, the more of an expert you can become, the more likely you are to gain access to neural monitoring. So if you don't want something like Havana syndrome to happen to you, then you want to start trying to gain access to neural monitoring. A lot of people want to pretend like it doesn't exist. People that have access want to pretend like it doesn't exist because it gives them a great amount of power over the people who don't have access. So as long as you're in the dark and you think that it doesn't exist and that it's not possible, then somebody can own you. Somebody can own your neural monitoring, and it can have a great devastation effect. Okay? It's a mind control system. So if you are connected with somebody, you're on mind control. You're receiving them. Even if you don't have on the equipment, you're still receiving them. It's more subtle, and you wouldn't know it in most cases, but it does affect your mind, and it does affect your decision making, and it does affect the way you feel, because you're connected to other people like a hive. EMF broadcast unconsensually with these malicious ways that they're using it is absolutely 100% terrorism. I've been talking about this publicly for maybe 6 years, 7 years, somewhere in that range, on many different platforms. But I've been on YouTube talking about all of these things that are talked about with Havana syndrome, all of these exact same symptoms and these exact same circumstances I've been talking about on my channel for over 5 years. I've interviewed many other people that have the same problem. They will be called targeted individuals for if you didn't know that. So people that have access, they call themselves mind control people or EMF people. Typically, that's what they call themselves. So basically, that's about it. And when I heard about all of these things with Havana syndrome, I was actually excited because it's going to bring this into the mainstream, um, into the spotlight where normal everyday people start to say, "Oh, wow, wow, is that?" And direct energy weapons, it could be considered that, but it's not the same as a direct energy weapon in the typical sense that you would think of a direct energy weapon mounted on the top of a Humvee in the middle of the desert. Whatever it hits is incinerated. That's really how a direct energy weapon works. And what you're dealing with is people that are on mind control, living as broadcast, and physically attacking your body. The sounds you hear, there's people that are living as broadcast, talking, or they're at the controls, broadcasting these sounds. It is artificial telepathy. It's all remote neural monitoring, and it's all part of EMF broadcast. So it's definitely something that you want to look into. Like I said, I've interviewed many people, and I've been talking about this for years. It's very consistent with what is now being said as the symptoms of Havana syndrome. Myself and many other people that are targeted by this technology, by people using this technology. Okay, we've been saying this for years. We've been saying this for a long time, and it's all there to be said. So my channel has about over 1,000 public videos, I think, or close to 1,000 public videos. Several thousand on the membership level, and then several thousand more that that I took down, and they're on private now, and I'm going through them to be brought back later as like the archives. And then I've probably got another 1,000 that I'm leaving on private. Okay, I've documented very extensively my situation, how this technology works, talking with many other people, and every day I come on and I do videos talking about this. It's EMF broadcast, it's remote neural monitoring, it is people being targeted individuals, and artificial telepathy, and it is mind control. This is the mind control revolution that we're going through, that we're starting to enter into, the mind control age. And like I said, you know, almost 7,000 videos in 5 years. So that's a lot. That's a lot of documentation. And I've been real persistent with trying to make sure that I talk about the things that are happening. Many cases, you would find that people in my situation, including myself at times, have been called schizophrenic or accused of being on some kind of drugs to make you demented or something like that. I live a typical life, not very typical. I feel like I'm kind of interesting, but I work full time at a major corporation, and I go out and I'm into dance and music and normal things. I talk to people. People don't think that I'm crazy. The people that I don't go around talking about this, obviously, in everyday life to friends and coworkers and people I meet. I talk about it on YouTube, and I talk about it on some other platforms on the internet, and a lot of people have benefited from my videos and the other people who make videos and talk about these things. But I want to be very clear. I'm absolutely certain, 100%, that normal people can gain access to this technology. I know this from experience. I know some people that have access to it. I've caught people using it, and I tell my story very extensively over the years. So it's not going to change. My story doesn't change. And when you put out 7,000 videos, even though I've taken a lot of them back down, because, you know, I've been in court rooms 10 times probably about my YouTube channel and stuff. There's a lot of resistance, people that want to suppress this information, and people that that don't want this getting out because they're using it for a power play. It puts them in a position of power, and they don't want to lose that. And they have a great advantage on the rest of society. But you don't put out 7,000 videos trying to keep your story straight. That ain't how it works, okay? I don't lie about it. I tell the truth about it. And I've talked to thousands of people all around the world, and this is not isolated to any one region or any country or any state. This is everywhere. I get a lot of people contacting me every single day from many states in America, from many countries in Europe, South America, even Asia, Australia, people in Russia, people everywhere contact me all the time, and they want to come on for an interview, or they want me to help them. They want to understand better what's happening. And if you're interested in understanding EMF broadcasts and remote neural monitoring, artificial telepathy, and gang stalkers, the people that use this technology and coordinate to attack others, you can check out my channel. And I've got some other channels, but I'm not going to plug everything in right here. That's about it. Okay, I want to make it pretty clear that I believe 100% that Havana syndrome is remote neural monitoring. Havana syndrome is EMF broadcast, and I believe that's what those people experienced. And we've been talking about this for a long time, and it's about time that something starts to get done about these things, because it is 100% terrorism. Thank you for watching. My name's Kevin Christian. I'll see you on the next one.